Walls house. It's me. It's your man. It's your main man, Ole Walls. I'm back with you. Episode number 108 coming your way. I hope I'm right with that number. I could be wrong. I think it's 108. Let me double check. God, I have to think. Here we go. We're doing it live. Everybody. Episode 10. Yes, 108. I was right. How about that? I can remember things. So as always, thank you to everybody. I appreciate you guys coming, watching, listening, hanging out, just checking out the pod. So thank you. As always, big thanks to producer Kevin. He makes this thing go. And if you could, please rate, review, comment, subscribe, and share. That's a big thing. Got a fun show coming. Talking some Royal Rumble, talking conference championships, talking UNC basketball, Flyers hockey, a lot of fun stuff, golf, passing thoughts. Joined by the roommate today, her annual appearance for the Royal Rumble. Before we dive in, Liquid IV, if you're looking for 20% off, you know the deal. Promo code OWH, O for W for Walls, H for House. Promo code OWH, Liquid IV, convenient little packaging. Dump it right in 16 ounces of water and you're ready to go. 3 times the hydration as water alone, more than twice as many electrolytes as the leading sports brands. They come in all the flavors. I like Concord Grape. I put one in most mornings. So 20% off at liquidiv.com or the link in the show notes below. Without any further ado, let's dive into it. The Kansas City Chiefs dynasty. That's what it is. It's a dynasty. Rolls on to another Super Bowl. Just incredible. That is, excuse me. Excuse me. I'm dying, people. That is 1, 2, 3, 4 Super Bowls in the last 5 years. That was their sixth straight AFC championship. Every year, Patrick Mahomes has been their starting quarterback. He has been to the AFC championship to go with his 3 MVPs. 2 MVPs and 2 Super Bowl MVPs. I just got a little confused there. Kansas City Chiefs. I mean, what more can you say? Travis Kelce has had a very, very good postseason after a very, very average regular season. Lamar Jackson did catch his own pass today. That was pretty fucking cool. It was going to get picked off, and he caught it and prevented that pick. So that was very helpful to them early in the game. Just looking through my notes here. The Chiefs had some issues in the first half with some penalties. I think they only had 3 penalties in the entire game. And two of them came at the very end of the first half, kind of knocked them out of field goal position. They worked themselves back in and got the field goal. They got up 17-7, and it felt like it should have been more. They never scored in the second half. There were only 3 points scored in the second half. After it started off, I think they both scored within the first. Did they score in like their first 2 drives of the game? It was within the first couple minutes. Yeah, it was the first 2 drives. KC marched it right down, big long drive, and found Kelce, and then the Ravens came right back and hit Flowers, and then we got an early touchdown in the second quarter, and then we never saw a score again. Pretty much, we saw a couple field goals. Got weird. And but the Ravens killed themselves, man. Sloppiness. Not good on third down. 3 of 11. Got dominated on time possession. 8 penalties for 95 yards compared to 3 for 30 with the Chiefs. 4 sacks allowed, and then they turned it over 3 times. The big one was Lamar Jackson. In the fourth quarter, I made a note here. 6:45 left. They're down 17-7, and they are driving. And they were pinned deep at one point, and it was 4th down, and they converted it to OBJ. And Lamar tried to throw it into triple coverage into the end zone, and it was picked off. And that was it, man. Like that was the game essentially. They still had they still had a chance to stop him on defense. And did they kick a field goal after that, or was that? Yeah, they ended up kicking the field goal later and getting it down to a one-score game. And with I think with the Ravens out of timeouts, it was 3rd and 11. The next stop was going to be the 2-minute warning. Patrick Mahomes found MVS deep with no time remaining, with no timeouts remaining for the Baltimore Ravens, and that was it. That iced the game. So the Kansas City Chiefs, Patrick Mahomes, 30 of 39 for 241. Lamar Jackson, 20 of 37 for 272. There was a point early in the game that Jim Nance, they go to the booth picture. It's Nance and Romo standing next to each other. And Jim Nance goes, Lamar Jackson's only completed 5 passes in this game. And Tony Romo just goes, I was like, that's fucking great. Romo's just fucking winging it out there. But yeah, that's just the Chiefs, man. I don't know what you can say. I know people are fed up with them. I know the Taylor Swift. People are fucking saying Taylor Swift, Travis Kelce, it's gonna hard. I get it, man. I actually don't care about the Taylor Swift thing. They show her for 6 minutes across 3 fucking hours. Like, whatever. But man, you gotta give it to them. You gotta give it to the Chiefs. How do you not? 4 Super Bowl in 5 years, 6 straight conference championships. So with Mahomes has been to 4 Super Bowls in 6 years. God. They're looking to win their 3rd. I mean, at this point right now, they'd be 50-50 if they lost in the Super Bowl. Woof. It's impressive, man. It's impressive. Andy Reid is 2nd all-time in playoff wins, I believe now, just behind Bill Belichick. Travis Kelce, Patrick Mahomes, I mentioned this last week. Most TD connections of any duo in a playoffs. They passed Gronkowski and Brady. I did see a ludicrous thing. I mean, I don't even know how this ended up on my Twitter timeline. I haven't even read that much Twitter today. Jamel Hill, that Mahomes doesn't have to pass Brady in Super Bowls to become the best ever. And I was like, oh, I don't know if that's true because Brady beat him twice. Once in the Super Bowl and once in the conference championship. Beat him in the 2018 conference championship. Granted, that was the first year Patrick Mahomes. But then the year they lost the Super Bowl to the Bucs, like that was prime Patrick Mahomes. They had already won the Super Bowl. They were defending Super Bowl champs. And I know Mahomes was on his fucking bicycle that game, but it is what it is. So I don't know if we should go that far. Current game going on. It's halftime right now. The Detroit Lions are fucking giving it to the San Francisco 49ers. The Lions doing what the Packers could not. In their first 2 drives, the Lions scored. They punt, and then they score again. So in their first 4 drives, the Lions scored 3 touchdowns. 3 touchdowns in their first 4 drives. That's exactly what the Packers didn't do. They kicked field goals or turned it over. Then they just got another field goal here at the end of the half with some huge conversions. The Niners had it set up that they could get the ball back. If they got 1 third down stop, they'd have the ball at the end of the first half, and then they get the ball coming out in the second half. The old patented Kyle Shanahan, that's exactly what he wants to do, and it got fucking smothered because the Lions picked up some incredible 3rd down conversions. They picked up a 3rd and 18 and a 3rd and 12, and then picked up a 3rd and 6 in the red zone to bleed the clock down. They ended up kicking the field goal with I think the play started with 10 seconds. I walked over here right after to get this going. So the Lions just giving it to the 49ers. It's 24-7 right now. Jared Goff is 13-20 for $145. David Montgomery has rushed for 60 yards already and a touchdown. Where's the rest of the stats here? Let me get in here. Jahmyr Gibbs is 11 of 46 and for a touchdown. It seems like he should have more because I was just like, God damn, Jahmyr Gibbs looks like he's killing it. Amon-Ra St. Brown. I was thinking Antonio Brown. Crazy fucker. Amon-Ra St. Brown has 5 catches for 73 yards. Laporta has 4 for 45. It's just been just a domination, man. Just a domination. And Brock Purdy, not great. Not great. Is the Purdy Pumpkin Watch? Purdy Pumpkin Watch. We are out in full force. Purdy Pumpkin Watch, 7 of 15, just 93 yards, an interception, a passer rating of 39. 39. They've bottled up McCaffrey pretty well. 10 carries, 29 yards. Just 2 receptions for Debo on 3 targets for 21 yards as well. So just the big thing. Lions doing what the Packers couldn't. Converting. If they keep converting, we'll see if the 49ers coming out of halftime can make this thing a game. I'm going to forewarn you guys right now. Right now. If the 49ers don't make this thing a game, this will be the sign-off. This will be the sign-off. If the 49ers at least make it a game, I'll come back. But if they don't, I mean, let's go Lions, Chiefs. There's plenty of time next week for me to talk preview. So I'll say this. If the Lions get this thing going and just kind of start putting it away slowly, your boy's going to bed. And we'll move on. If the 49ers make this interesting, I'll be back on here. So we'll move on to the next thing. It could either be more of me talking 49ers Lions, or if the Lions just keep putting them on them, that could be it. Let's keep going. That's not quite what I envisioned, people. I was at halftime, I was ready to pack it up, go to bed, and wowza. And just an all-time choke. Oh, man. Lions fans got to be sick to their stomach. Oh. I'm almost speechless. 24-7 at halftime. And then the 49ers come out and score 27 unanswered points. 27 unanswered points. And they get the field goal on the first drive. And then from there, it just all goes to hell for the Detroit Lions. And this is what I wrote in my notes. This is after the field goal. Reynolds drops pass on 4th with 6:35 left in the third. ... Could be a tide turner. I did not even in writing that out, typing that out on my phone, did I think to myself what I was saying with like typing that out. I thought, it could be a tide turner. This game could get tight, and the fucking Niners were covering. They weren't just winning; they were covering up until that last fucking Lions touchdown. Oh my God, I feel so bad for Lions fans. I feel so bad, man. That was largest halftime deficit in a conference championship ever. I just got the notification. Oh, and then Purdy, he hits Ayuk. The pass bounces off the Lions defender's face mask. Then Ayuk scores it just a couple of plays later, and then it's just hell all over again. The Lions fumble on the first play in the following drive, and then it's tied. And then it's a third down right after that, and Reynolds dropped another ball. Perfectly thrown, in stride, hits him in the hands, it hits him in the gut, and the Lions go 3 and out. And then, the Lions went for it from the Niners 30 with 7:32 left to go in the fourth. The field goal would have tied it. They didn't get it. And meanwhile, in the second half, Brock Purdy looked like Mike Vick out there. So we have a rematch of the Super Bowl from 2019. So the the 49ers, who had been in their 4th conference championship in the last few years. Let me look this up. Will face the Kansas City Chiefs. And just the heartbreak that must be going on in Detroit. They were bumping. Now 49ers have been to, this was their 4th straight NFC championship game. They beat the Packers, of course. 4th of the last 5. 2020 they did not. So it was the 2019 year they went to the Super Bowl, lost to the Chiefs, lost to the Rams in 21, lost to the Eagles. Now they're going back. So haven't walked away with a Super Bowl in this stretch, but they're back again. Now I do want to say something. This is Dan Campbell. This is what he does. Oh man, these were 4 plays. 4 plays that really killed. I've just got pictures. I don't even know where I'm going with this. I'm so just baffled. Reynolds drops a 4th down. Dropped INT becomes a 50-yard play. Gibbs fumbles. Reynolds 3rd down drop. Those are the 4 plays. Those are the 4 plays. Michael Badgley was 77.1% from 40 to 49 yards. So I think that's the decision-making process there, is that he wasn't sure about it. Also, he goes for it all the time. Dan Campbell's always going for it. They talk about it every game. The Lions go for it more than anybody. The Lions go for it more than anybody. You get a beat into your brain. I'm going to say one thing with that. You got to come with what you know. And Dan Campbell came with what he know. I guess go down swinging, right? I mean, here's the thing. 2 catches and don't fumble, the Lions are marching to the Super Bowl. The Lions should have won that game. I think I'm going to get out way over my skis and way out ahead of myself. The Chiefs are going to win the Super Bowl. Because the 49ers should have lost 2 games in a row now. And they had 2 NFC North teams choke. Plenty more next week on the Super Bowl. We'll look into stuff. We'll get into some prop bets. So we'll just continue on with the pod here now. Roommate's here with me to talk about the Rumble. Roommate, why don't you lead it off? You just let it fly early here.
Well, I mean, I fell asleep. I feel like that says it all. Is I fell asleep during like the last 4 guys or something. The men's was terrible. I do have comments on the women's. I feel like the women's was worth watching. Would you agree?
The women's wasn't bad. The men's sucked. The men's was awful. It wasn't just not good. It was bad. It was just not good. We'll get there. But you go ahead with the women's. I'll have some thoughts on that too.
Okay, number 3 in Bailey. Bayley. Who spells it like that? No.
What would you normally spell it like?
Not like that. Mm-hmm. With Bay. Why is there a Y in the middle? Like Bay.
What up, Bay?
Bay? No. Number 7. Azuka?
Asuka. Yeah.
Why with the devil mask? And why is she wearing a thong over her pants? I have those questions. Number 10, Bianca Belair. Still my favorite. The outfit still kills. She can lift everybody in there. I love it.
Everybody.
And then, she eliminated Jordan, I believe. Mm-hmm. And it was really cool. Oh. Yeah, Jordan, which brings us to Jordan.
How
many steroids is she on?
Probably all of them. She was the TNA world champ. So that was actually kind of cool. She works for a different company.
Jordan?
Yeah.
Well, they have the drugs at that company because she looked different than the other women out there. Natalia. She's a little bit older.
Yeah, I think she's had a lot of work done.
She's been around. When she got eliminated, she just rolled out. Like it was this like gentle roll. Like we got to be careful with this one.
Oh, I didn't even see that.
Oh
one.
yeah, when they eliminated her, it was like a soft roll out. I was like, oh, she must have been like, I can't take much. Chelsea Green, I don't even remember her. All I wrote was, what is she wearing? And is it worse with or without the skirt?
Because she had like the skirt thing on,
Yeah.
like the big poop skirt.
It was
Chelsea
bad either
Green
way.
was fucking killing it in that match, by the way. She was like the one who was getting beat up by everybody for the longest time. Chelsea Green, I made a note that Chelsea Green was the star of the first half of that Rumble.
Zelina Vega. Was this the Victoria's Secret Angels show or the WWE? Because the outfit she had on, nasty. Then, we're just continuing down, like, kind of just, this is like me, like, slut-shaming, basically.
It's not very nice.
Maxine Dupree. She looks like a porn star Barbie. And why does she have 2 X's in her name?
Well, why not?
I'm embarrassed for the female gender.
I don't even know who Maxine Dupree is. Was I watching?
She lasted, I think, about 5 seconds. She was in all fucking pink. It was ridiculous. She was leaning into the Barbie era. Oh, and then, this is when I was really sad to be, like, for all womankind. Number 29. It's Tiffy time. It's Tiffy time. Kill me. No. Those words should never be uttered, ever.
Seem upset about that.
That's all I've got for women's.
You had no thoughts on Jade Cargill?
She was good. She was very athletic as well.
Yeah.
She was very athletic as well.
She was fucking killing it.
She was. I didn't even write down who won.
Bailey won.
I don't have anything against her.
They did a very smooth...
She lasted a long time.
Yeah, she came in 3-1. They did a very smooth thing where she could get kind of the cheap heel win, and while Cargill and Bianca Belair and everybody else was kind of like out fighting on the edge. So,
well, yeah, because Bianca's a baddie.
It's
a tough one.
You have more thoughts? There was a fatal 4-way match. I don't think you were very interested in for the Universal title.
That shit in between the women's and the men's. Cut it. Get to the good stuff. We all know what we're here for, and it's none of that bullshit in the middle. And it certainly wasn't that second thing.
The Kevin Owens Logan Paul match. I actually thought both of those matches were decent. Do you have men's thoughts? Men's Rumble thoughts?
I do. Go.
You go. I'm just gonna let you go.
Oh, I don't have much. There's really not much to say because it wasn't entertaining.
No, it sucked.
It was boring. I couldn't keep. It was too late in the night. I couldn't keep my eyes open. Dominic Mysterio. Didn't you have him as one of your guys?
He was one of my guys. My guys sucked. So the guys I got in my pool, I'll just list off some names here.
Have you explained this pool thing?
Everybody gets it. You draw numbers out of a hat, and you get whoever comes in at that number. I was saddled with Grayson Waller at the third pick, at the third entrant rather. Dominic Mysterio at number 9. I got Finn Balor. I would have been excited about Finn Balor in 2021, maybe. Kofi Kingston at 17. I didn't even see Kofi get kicked out of the ring. Why didn't we get a cool Kofi spot? What the fuck was that?
I don't think he lasted long.
Then I got Omos or Osmos or whatever that big idiot's name is. And then I got JD McDonough, who I researched a little and is part of Judgment Day, but his head is too big for his body. You thought he was a midget.
He's very small compared to the other people.
Not his head.
Okay, Dominic Mysterio. He looks... I would cross the street if I saw him. He's
a felon. He's been in jail.
For serious?
No, it's part of the storyline.
Okay, well,
he's a little bitch in the storyline. He gives out he goes to jail and acts like he's
the biggest creeper vibes. Like that is like what women run far away from.
Not mommy. Rhea Ripley, you know, the big bitch with the black hair.
Yeah.
They're like a thing in the show, I believe, and he calls her mommy.
Yep. Okay. Further, proving my point, this guy gives me the ick. Carlito?
Yeah.
Is that him?
Wait.
Why did he pull an apple out of his crotch? What was that?
Don't talk shit on Carlito. The only problem with Carlito is his music. Where did his good music go? Why does he have just some generic bullshit Mexican wrestler music? He used to have the best music ever. He used to start with, I spit in the face of people who don't want to be cool. And then it was like a Caribbean thing. And now it's just like some bullshit dumb one. Continue.
Ludwig Kaiser?
Yeah, he sucked.
Looks like a meth head.
He's part of
looks like a meth head.
He's part of Gunther's group.
Okay, well, he also looks disturbing.
Who, Gunther?
No.
Oh.
Ludwig.
Okay.
Him and Dominic. They scare me. I'm sorry. Like, I know The Miz has had his own show or whatever and is like really popular. No. And what's with the name? What is the name? What is that?
It was from Real World. It was like his alter ego. He's like, I'm Mike, but I'm the Miz.
But why? Because it sounds like Miz, like, and then you say somebody's last name. Mm-hmm. So it just reminds me like a woman. Damian Priest's outfit, it looked like a woman's corset.
Oh yeah, he does wear
that. It looks like women's lingerie.
Yeah.
And then McIntyre's really clinging to his hairline.
Drew?
I don't know.
Big guy?
All I wrote was McIntyre.
Now I gotta see this.
Because I was so bored and tired at this point and not engaged.
You think he's clinging to his hairline?
Yes. Last night, it really looked like he was clinging to it.
Might just have a big forehead.
No, last night, maybe that's not the most updated picture, but last night, we were clinging for dear life to our hairline.
I don't know.
I do.
That was from last night. That picture, right there.
Well, at one point it looked bad.
All right, hang on. I gotta show everybody this because I don't think you're right at all.
Well,
there's Drew McIntyre. The guy's got a full head of hair. Look at that, full head of hair.
Okay, well, agree to disagree.
Okay,
that's all I got.
It sucked, and I don't have much more either.
It didn't live up to the hype. I wait all year for this. It's kind of the only one I like to watch.
I'm just going to read off the names of like the first 15 entrants. The first 14 entrants. Jey Uso, Jimmy Uso. I don't know. That should have been better, but then it wasn't. Grayson Waller. I don't even know who that loser is. Andrade, who I guess just came back to WWE, and I never knew he left. Carmelo Hayes. Shinsuke Nakamura, who has he been cool in like 7 years? Santos Escobar, Karrion Kross, Dominic Mysterio, Carlito without his music,
but with the apple.
The apple was cool. Those Bobby Lashley, like, is Bobby Lashley still cool? He was the first guy I was like, okay. Austin Theory, Finn Balor, like Cody Rhodes at 15 was the first time anyone of interest came in. Bronson Reed, whatever. Kofi, whatever. Gunther, he's a big deal. He's like the IC champ. Ivar. Braun Breaker is a badass though. Braun Breaker is really cool. I'm a big fan of Braun Breaker. He's a Steiner. Omos. They wasted McAfee. McAfee just kind of jumped up on the edge and like fake got in and then got out. JD McDonough's head that's way too big for his body. R-Truth was the best part of the entire Rumble when he was on the apron looking for the hot tag. That was the best part of the entire Rumble. Yeah, I mean, like the last 3 guys who came in after Punk came in at 27, it was Ricochet at 28, Drew McIntyre, which is fine, and then Sami Zayn was 30. Sami Zayn's been gone. That didn't work. There were no surprises. There was no fun, like, spots. Nobody came in and dominated and cleaned house. Nobody was, like, just whipping people out of there one by one until, a badass came in. It all sucked. You got anything else? Chiefs-Ravens are about to start here.
Hoping for a better one next year.
Alrighty. Flyers update. The update is not good. Not good, people. Flyers now losers of 5 straight games. Just outright losses. It's not ideal. Not ideal. Somehow, through all of that, they still maintained third third place in the division. In the wild card, they would be out though. So now we're at the point where it's maintaining the third place in the division. They've we're in second place. They are now 5 points behind the Carolina Hurricanes, who are in second place, and 7 points behind the New York Rangers, both of whom have played less games. So the 5-game losing streak into the All-Star break was probably not the look we were looking for. When is the NHL All-Star game? I think that's the NHL All-Star game is Saturday, February 3rd. So the Flyers don't play again until Tuesday, February 6th. And they come right back out, and it's like on again because they have to go to Florida to play the Panthers. Then they host the Winnipeg Jets, both very, very good teams. And then they host the Kraken. And I think the Kraken are kind of a middling team. Yeah, middling to poor. So it's on for the Flyers coming out. The Flyers currently 25-19-6, so 25-25. I kept, pumping up that goal differential. I've always been saying that's a good thing. We are now in the negatives of the goal differential because we've been getting fucking pummeled lately. Pummeled. I mean, in this 5-game losing streak, 7-4, 5-3, 6-3, 3-0, 6-2. So just in these last 5 games, after they just dominated the start, they were on such a nice streak. They'd won 5 in a row before that, and they just give it all away. But 12, 18, 21, 27 goals in the last 5 games given up, while only scoring 12. Wowza. Ow. Oofta. Not good. Not good. Let's continue with the kind of the other sports trajectory here. Let's talk my Tar Heels, my Heels. 2 good wins again. They go into Florida State, pick up a win. We're trailing at halftime. Had a good second half there. A real balanced effort from everybody. RJ Davis, 24 points. My guy Harrison Ingram with 13. Elliot Cadeau with 16 points. Armando Baycat, 5 points. I know they're the 3rd-ranked team in the country right now, which is crazy to me. Craziness. But if they're going to be good, Baycat's got to contribute. I know it's kind of moved to a point where he doesn't necessarily have to anymore, but he's going to have to do more than score 5 points. I mean, 5 points is just not going to cut it. And that's what he scored against Wake Forest, too. RJ Davis against Wake Forest. In a game that was tight at halftime again here, they were actually losing just by a point at halftime against a pretty outmatched Wake Forest team. RJ Davis goes crazy, scores 38 points. Again, Elliot Cadeau, 14 points. 14 points to go along with 3 assists. The one thing as I'm just kind of looking through, and as I see the stat, it makes sense. There's not a lot of assists with this team. In their last game, Cadeau with 5, Davis with 4, nobody else with more than 2. So they're creating their own shot. It kind of seems so. But yeah, so 2 more wins. I think they are firmly out ahead at the. Yep, they are they are 9-0 in conference play in the ACC. They've won 10 games in a row. Have not lost a game at home or away. All their losses have been neutral site, actually. So second place is Duke at 6-2. Virginia is 6-3. And then, it comes to this is next Saturday, February 3rd, the first installment of Duke UNC of the 2024 year. So we're looking forward to that. Carolina has a stopover at Georgia Tech on Tuesday. Georgia Tech, the Yellow Jackets. Georgia Tech is struggling. 2-7 in conference play, 9-11 overall. One of the worst teams in the league. So don't get caught looking ahead. That's kind of a thing. Don't get caught watching the paint dry there. Don't get on the looking ahead to Duke on Saturday. Duke, the 12th ranked team in the country. As I said, second place. They snuck one out yesterday against Clemson. They pick up a 72-71 win. Had beat the helpless Louisville Cardinal, who may be the worst team in the ACC period. They play at Virginia Tech tomorrow, a team that feels like they upset Duke all the time. and then they had to 8 miles down Tobacco Road to Chapel Hill on Saturday. So in Carolina on Saturday, Duke could sneak into the college, the top 10 in the college basketball top 25. Let's see what else happened. That kid from Tennessee, I got to catch a Tennessee game. Apparently, this Dalton Connect character is quite the player. Quite the player. Let's see. UConn does it not usually? It doesn't want to just be like, hey, here's. Okay, we'll go through the week of college basketball. Saturday. Who else played Saturday? No, I want Saturday. They play a lot of games there. Wisconsin's kind of good. Tennessee wins. They're top 5. Houston, number 4, wins. Number 6, Kentucky wins. Number 7, Kansas loses at Iowa State. That could sneak Duke back into the top 10. Auburn, number 8, loses at Mississippi State. So a couple teams out ahead of them that they could swing by. Number 11, Oklahoma loses. So looks very good for Duke to sneak maybe back up into the top 10. We get a top 10 Duke UNC matchup. It doesn't make any difference really, but always cool. I think Arizona lost earlier this week as well. Wisconsin, big win over Michigan State. That contributed to some of the parking issues I had that I will talk about later. Yeah, Oregon State beat Arizona on, that was Thursday. So, yes, it appears Auburn also lost to Alabama, so they're for sure coming out. Illinois, the number 10 team, lost to Northwestern earlier in the week. Duke is going to fly up the rankings. Jeez, they're going to be like the 6th ranked team. Kentucky, the 6th ranked Kentucky team lost. Oklahoma lost earlier this week too. There is all sorts of space going to be up ahead for Duke this week. Wowza. So yeah, that's for sure going to be a top 10 matchup. Could be like 3 versus 6. I didn't see if UConn or any of them lost. But yeah, so all right.
Some people just know that the best rate for you is a rate based on you.
Best rate for me is a rate based on me. What am I? Oh, that 9. The ESPN page was giving me an ad. I was very confused. I was hearing, do. Some people know the best rate based on you. What are you talking about? Golf. I had every single intention of watching more golf this week, and then didn't watch any of it. I watched 5 fucking minutes, and I looked at the leaderboard and was like, eh. And I went on and watched a TV show. I mean, Mateo Pavon won. Nikolai Højgaard, who was kind of an interesting thing. I did have a friend text me about Nikolai Højgaard the entire time. It was pretty funny. Steven Yeager, Nate Lashley. Who is Jay Knapp? I think, is this the Jake Knapp? This is the kid who hits it a mile, maybe? I don't know. Bo Hostler. Finau finished 6th. He shot 3 under on Saturday to kind of maybe sneak his way up in there. I mean, Xander Schauffele and Hideki Matsuyama and Ludwig Aberge. Is it Aberge? Is that how you say it? Or Aberg? I don't know. But, like, what? Will Zalatoris. Actually, there's a name I'm actually interested in. Will Zalatoris with a nice finish. But, yeah, it's golf I will watch this weekend. It's the Pebble Beach Pro-Am. It's a signature event or designated event, whatever they call it now. That's this weekend. This coming weekend. Obviously, there's no football. We're getting I'm recording this about 45 minutes before the games start on Sunday. So there's no football next week. So golf is the headliner next week, and then we get the Waste Management Phoenix Open on Super Bowl Sunday. Love that tournament. So it's golf season next week. I think I probably said something similar to that starting before this week, but I mean it this time. I mean it. So yeah, I think that's everything. Time for some passing thoughts. A couple of stories I found interesting this week. WWE Raw will be moving to Netflix starting in 2025. So a little under a year from now. Raw will be live on Netflix. Does that mean we get no commercials? I'm sure not. I'm sure we're getting commercials no matter what. But very interesting. That's kind of one of the first dominoes to fall in the, streamers getting into live events thing. I know we've obviously had Amazon with Thursday Night Football. We had Peacock. But this is, Thursday Night Football, I feel like is a very different thing than, Sunday Night Football or Monday Night Football or any like Sunday football were to go. I mean, this is WWE's flagship program. It's been on for 30 some years now. And, WWE now owned by Endeavor, which owns the UFC. They formed TKO Group, and they got $5 billion over something like 10 years to do this. So Netflix is going all in on WWE Raw. And it'll be interesting. I think Peacock is up in 2026 with their ability to do the, what do they call them now? Premier live events. They don't call them pay-per-views anymore. So they're up with that, and then the catalog. Interesting to know if Netflix wants to get involved with that business, if there was something in the contract that gives them like first right of refusal on bidding on that or something. But very interesting, very interesting. TV viewership obviously going down on linear cable, as they call it. So very interesting to track. I find it not fantastic. What is the word I'm looking for here? I'm dumb. I can't speak. I find it. What is wrong with me? We're just gonna have to move on. I find it very interesting. There's a word that means interesting that I can't think of. I'm an idiot. In other streaming and things like that news, Barstool has partnered with Rumble to move, I'm guessing, the video versions of their podcast to Rumble. I think that's an exclusive deal. I read about it earlier this week and then now have forgotten all about it. Barstool, Rumble, let's look. Rumble announces partnership with Barstool Sports. Rumble, the high-growth video platform, announces a partnership with Barstool Sports. The partnership will provide Rumble users with access to all Barstool Sports content on the platform, including live streams. Additionally, Barstool will market and promote Rumble as their preferred video home. The wide-ranging partnership will also include an advertising arrangement under which both companies will benefit. I think also Portnoy took some stock from Rumble, and that was part of the deal, was that Portnoy took a little ownership in Rumble, if I'm not mistaken. Who knows? I'm an idiot today. I read about this and then forgot it, but good deal for Portnoy. I think it was like 300 some million, but some of it was in stock and ownership and things of that nature. So good for him. Oh, we want to talk about dumb. I mean, there's me. Obviously, I'm pretty dumb, but the U.S. Olympic golf uniforms are so bad, like disgustingly bad. Like Jay Lindbergh, who has just been putting out awful shit for Victor Hovland to use, has come up with these trash-ass things. I mean, good God, how awful are these? I have to share my screen. We got video here, people. I'm going to show you. Jay Lindbergh unveils Olympic uniforms for Team USA. Look at that dog shit. Like, are you serious? What is this? The hoodie? I like the back of it. I'm guessing the front of it's probably awful in some way, shape, or form. I don't mind this thing, this pullover, but the undershirt with the... What is this? Why is this dude in all white in a turtleneck? Mock turtlenecks are not cool. These are so bad. So bad. I mean, good God. Get someone who looks less comfortable playing like in golf stuff too. Oh God, they get worse. Look at that bag. Oh, she looks like a tennis player in the 70s. What is that? What is that? Good God. It's just oofta. More oofta. Lots of oofta today. Speaking of oofta, this was the first part's not an oofta. The Packers fired Joe Barry. So Joe Barry is out as defensive coordinator. The problem, the oofta in this, is that there's discussions that he may stay on in another role. And, there's players already coming out being like, oh, we love Joe. I get it, man. He's probably a nice guy. He's Matt LaFleur's friend. Players like him. But, like, his answer to the defense wasn't working. And I don't know, man. I think you just got to get that out of the building. I'm not trying to trash the guy personally. Don't know him. I'm an idiot. I've made that very clear today. But, like, you just got to move on sometime. Packers also fire their strength and conditioning coach. That seems, there's always somebody injured for the Packers. Maybe we can work on that. Maybe we can work on that. Jim Harbaugh is the new head coach of the Los Angeles Chargers. He's going to pair up with Justin Herbert. That kind of seemed like what everybody was thinking. Harbaugh has kind of got this reputation as a little bit of a quarterback whisperer, if you will. And, Justin Herbert's an extremely talented young quarterback. And now he gets an offensive-minded head coach to replace Staley, who I believe the Packers showed interest in for their D coordinator as well. But yeah, that'll be, on paper, it's a great match. When execution comes, we will see what happens when the rubber meets the road, if you will. When rubber meets the road. I was at the gym the other day, and yes, I do go to the gym despite my doughy appearance. I was just working out, and I cannot stand when this happens. There's a guy, and he's deadlifting, and he wasn't even deadlifting that much. Like it wasn't light by any stretch of the imagination, but it's like. It wasn't crazy amounts. And every single time, he is just slamming the bar and the weights back off the ground. There's a little platform, and, they've got the Olympic weights. They're the ones that can hit it. And it's just like he gets up and he's just like throwing it down. It's like, just fucking set the weight down, man. We get it. You're fucking deadlifting. You're deadlifting in the middle of the gym. Cool, buddy. Cool. Real cool. Grow up. Loser. Just set your weight down. I did a 26-hour fast Thursday into Friday. I was on the road for work, and just the way the my schedule set up, I didn't eat lunch until like 2:00, 2:30. So then when I got home, I wasn't really hungry. I didn't get home till like 8:30, and I just kind of went to bed. So I woke up the next day. I was like, I'm halfway. Like, I'm halfway there to a 24-hour fast. I might as well just, keep it going. So I did. So I made it till about 4:30 before we had an early dinner. Just kind of went with it. I also, then that evening, went on to go see, got a last-minute invitation to go see Shane Gillis live, his stand-up. That was pretty cool. It only took me fucking an hour to find a parking spot in Madison. And I remembered as I was doing that why I don't go leave my house that much. But yeah, Shane Gillis was funny. His couple openers were funny. So yeah, it was a good time. I also saw this video on Instagram that ankle socks are a red flag now. I don't understand. Like, why are ankle socks a red flag? And then, high black socks were also a red flag. So, who fucking knows? I'm saying this before the game starts. This will show up after I talk about the game. But there was a thing that whoever beats Josh Allen in the playoffs always loses their next game. The Texans in 2020 beat the Bills and then lost to the Chiefs. They were up 21-0 in that game, or 14-0 in that game. I had them plus 10 that day. They did not cover. The Chiefs beat the Bills in 2021 and then lost in the Super Bowl to the Bucs. In 2022, the Chiefs beat the Bills again and then lost to the Bengals in the conference title game. In 2023, the Bengals beat the Bills and then lost to the Chiefs in the conference title game. And now, of course, the Chiefs have beat the Bills. Will the Ravens win? Will the Ravens win? I'm going out on a limb, and I'm going to say no. I'm going to say no. The Chiefs win the game. The Chiefs win the game. Oh, yeah. So, NVIDIA, Microsoft, and Google announced a partnership with the U.S. government on AI research programs. And turns out politicians have just been buying loads of stock in these companies. Pelosi has bought millions. This is from Unusual Whales. Pelosi has bought millions of NVIDIA stock before the announcement, and also owns millions of Microsoft and Google. I mean, I guess it's not crazy to buy Microsoft and Google, but I'm sure it was just it wasn't a coincidence at all. Nancy Pelosi's portfolio is up 84% over the last 12 months, most of which due to the jump in NVIDIA, Google, and Microsoft. That's a non-starter. We should be on that track. It's amazing that they don't have to just blind trust. It's just disgusting. Here's a funny one. Bill O'Brien spent 8 years working for Bill Belichick and Nick Saban. 6 years for Belichick, 2 for Saban. Did not win a Super Bowl or a national championship in that time. They've won 12 between them, I think. I went 340 miles on that road trip I was talking about earlier in the week without making a turn. So that was something. Do I have anything else? Or I think I'm about wrapped up. Yeah, that's it. Let me just double check. Yeah, that's everything. Let's go close this thing up. Closing time, everybody. Just want to say thank you again, as always. I appreciate all you guys. Thank you so much. If you want Liquid IV 20% off, promo code is OWH. And just thank you again, as always. Thank you. Thank you to producer Kevy. Thanks to the roommate for making an appearance today. Back next week. A little Super Bowl preview. See if I can't wrangle up somebody to talk some bets with me on that. We'll be talking about some golf, probably. There's a real golf tournament now. I know I've said that last week too, probably, but we'll be likely talking some golf. UNC Duke, NHL's on break, so that probably won't be any Flyer stock, but maybe there will. But who knows? So until next week, peace.